1 Chapter 1. You are listening at FameTV.info. Shui Yu's POV. I screamed as the horrible stench of blood appeared around me and pain shot through my head. Ha! Just before, my neck couldn't produce any vocals from being torn. What was happening? Miss, your boy is a loud child. He'll grow up healthy, ah. Let me see him. The woman reached out her trembling hands as she looked lovingly at me whom she was holding. Wait, where is this? A clean environment. Living people. I'm sure I died by being used as bait. Where is this? I was freaking out. I mean, who wouldn't be after they thought they were dead but was actually alive? And the environment change is really too much. The drastic difference in hell and heaven is more like it. Besides the smell of blood, it's too different. Scary how it is, a mere stark contrast is enough to frighten me that I chuckled in my head and was wondering what to do in this strange environment. Wait, that I seem to have become a baby. Why isn't he crying? Nurse, is it bad for a baby to not cry? I mean, he screamed but he hasn't cried yet. The young lady holding me asked the cheerful nurse. No, please don't worry. He might just have blocked tear ducts. It's not common, but it can be definitely treated. But who knows? He might just be a baby who doesn't cry. I'll bring a doctor in shortly. Would you like to see your husband and child? They looked quite anxious to see you. The voice of the cheerful nurse disappeared and I was left in my new mother's arms that I didn't know if I had gone back in time or went to another dimension. Why was I not freaking out? Obviously, because I read plenty of stories like these in the past when everything was normal. I always dreamed of being a character in those books anyway. It didn't seem to be a wuxia or xianxia world. Not fantasy either. Maybe sci-fi. Or did I really go back into the past or go to a parallel dimension? I heard a door squeak open and hurried footsteps entering. Was it the doctor that the nurse mentioned or my new father and older sibling? Honey, are you all right? Should I get you something? A henpecked man. Mom, let me see the baby. A demanding child. He's ugly. So what? I'm still a baby. I bet when you were a baby, you were even more ugly than me. Don't say that. He'll grow handsome after a few months. And you were like this too. Perhaps even uglier. My new mother spoke up for me. Thumbs up. The doctor checked me out a moment later and the nurses carried me off to the baby monitor room that I had to stay there for 37 hours. I got bored enough to start counting the hours. The day my new mom was being discharged, I was named Shui Yu, the name I had in my last life. It really was too strange. Did I really come back in time? But how? And why? Why me? Not that I mind, but why? During the apocalypse, I only touched water during the red phase. I got assigned to being a healer and was taught combat only by the old man who was a pretty powerful martial artist. So I should have had black belts in Kung Fu, Karate, and Tai Chi, but that stuff doesn't work against highly advanced zombies. Anyways, currently, I was in my new home. I guess it could be said to be my old home now. It turned out to be true. The fact that I went back in time, my mother's name was still Fan Ling, my father's name was still Shui Wang, my older brother's name was still Shui Jing, and my name still Shui Yu. Babies can't see much, but my old apartment smell was noticeable. And I did notice that their voices were familiar after a while. I even knew my family members' footsteps from the way they walked, so it was easy to figure out what was going on. I guess I'll have to grow up a bit before I can see what my family looks like and confirm properly. Hopefully, I did go back in time. I think I did, but it's not like those characters who just do anything and change the future so haphazardly. They instantly know when they went back in time. It's not that I'm not smart. I do have a pretty high IQ. It's just that, who would ever remember being a baby? I only know that it takes a year to start walking and about 14 months for a baby to walk properly. I know this from taking care of my younger siblings. And who expects for a baby to see everything with its lack of functionality? It's so hard to try to even move my arms. Let alone twisting my neck to look at people that I in China, 2XXX, it was said to not have changed much. The economy got a little better. Our idols and actors got a bit more well-known. The two-child policy was diminished. Girls were a bit more prized since they were undoubtedly rarer than boys, but as the two-child policy was destroyed, they all got equal treatment. At least, that's what I learned in history class. Anyways, I guess I'll have to wait till I'm a year old to properly get around. Fan Ling, Mom's point of view. My second child doesn't speak much. He doesn't babble, cry, or whine. That he looks a little disgruntled when he has to drink milk. Only when exactly a year passed, he suddenly stood up and started walking on his birthday. That really did surprise us. Jing just looked wide-eyed, but my husband and I screamed out of joy. Our second child just looked at us blankly. We really wonder if our child has low intelligence or is a genius. Yu doesn't play with the toys we bought for him. He likes to watch the TV though. Strangely, the educational programs that I pick always turn into survival programs and the animal kingdom. Yu also likes to hoard things. He hid marshmallow candies in his baby stroller, and I only found out when he picked one out while I was talking to another fellow mother. I later got home that day and had my husband dismantle the baby stroller. There were about 300 pieces of hard candy. No wonder the baby stroller was getting heavier by the week. You just stared at us like it was common sense to do this and looked aggrieved as we put the hard candy in the trash since we didn't know when they would or had already expired. Sigh, I just don't get our Yu. Listen to the full novel at FameTV.info, direct link in the description.